Yeah, just and here as well. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening and welcome to day 2 of our workshop. Let me stand here. So, before I start sharing the screen, just gonna put my camera and watching you. So, yesterday we talked about what drains our energies and what we can do and why it's important to take steps and to take actions for doing it. Today we're going to talk about foods, how we nourish the body, how we restore this, how it's impacting our energy level, why it's happening this. I added some slides after yesterday talk, and I hope it's gonna be just 1 hour, but it's a lot to do. It's a lot to talk. Usually I have few workshops for each one, but anyway, let's start doing it, and people will join us once they're ready, if they're ready, and so on. So we move on to the day 2, and here at you got them on the email, all the freebies, the 3-day meal plan to restore your vitality, your energy. You balance your blood sugar with these type of meals. You have also this energy boosting movement chat sheet, and the hydration hero. We really need hydration, and we drink coffee, which is diuretic. We're actually losing the water in the summer. It's coming here, so I think it's good to kind of keep up with this. I'm not saying you have to drink 2 liters of water. I know people that are drinking more, and I know people that are drinking less, but just look on a toilet, and if your pee it's dark color, so then you know you are dehydrated. That's one of the most noticeable thing. So the lighter the urine on a color, the better you are. So yes, again, about me, if you first in my world, this is me. I'm not gonna bore you with all my credentials. You can find them on the online, but I'm really, really a big advocate of the anti-aging and how we age, and as I mentioned yesterday, and our brain health, because maybe the body is not responding, but it's also the brain that is controlling everything. So it's the commander, the panel, that it's doing everything. And a little disclaimer here, because we need this. I think it's a little bit delay again between me, what I'm seeing, and you, what you see. I apologize, I can't do anything. We might switch with Zoom, but I'm not quite sure. It's the same there. So please read this. It takes only a couple of minutes for disclaimer. I have to do this disclaimer. This is the requirement from my professional insurance provider, just to ensure clarity and transparency regarding the nature of the workshop and regarding the nature of everything I'm doing. Actually, I need to have this disclaimer. So I'm gonna leave you read this for a couple of minutes. Oops, sorry. And then we move on. Thank you for your attention. Yeah, this is important too, And today's content, and we have a little bit more actually than it's here, so it's a lot to dive in. I'm just gonna go first, and we take it one by one. So understanding the impact of nutrition and hydration on our energy level and our hormonal balance. The food we drink, the food and what we drink every single day, it keeps us physically and mentally well. We should aim for an optimum health, but just doing well sometimes is good enough. So eating a well-balanced diet, including a variety of vegetables, whole grains, and I'm a big advocate of proteins. We need proteins because aging is starting in the muscle mass. If we lose muscle mass, we rapidly increase our aging. It's simple as that. And we're losing just by aging and just by life, by the nature of being here around, 1% of muscle mass every year. People says it's 5%. Some researchers says it's the 5 pounds every 5 years or so, just muscle mass. It's not only losing the muscle mass, but we also change the body composition, and instead of having more muscle mass, we're actually adding more fats around the tissues, around the organs, and also inside the muscle mass. So this is why protein here, it's very important, because especially if you can't exercise, either you have painful joints, you too much weight to lose, so it's putting a lot of pressure, whatever the reasons is there that you cannot exercise, you only can walk a couple of blocks or something, you can help yourself just changing the diet. I've been there, and I only did the change with the diet, and then I back to the exercises, gentle exercises and so on. So I increase slowly, but I've been there, and if I didn't take this measure, I wouldn't be able to literally manage the pains and manage everything else. Dehydration cause also fatigue, brain fog. It's decreasing physical performance, it's decreasing mental performance, obviously, if you have the brain fog and everything. So it is important to if you're not sure how much do you drink, if you're not sure how much protein, maybe keep a simple journal, even few notes on your phone about the protein you eat. It will do. It sums up. Some days will be low, some days will be higher, but overall average by the week, you should have it. If you have any questions, by the way, you just pop them in the chat about anything, and we'll take him from there. I cannot hear. I could put this on a little higher. Can you hear me now? Is anyone? Does everybody hear me? Can you check with me, please? Again, so I was okay at the beginning. Can you double check someone with me? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Is it still me? Oops. Yeah, no, I don't know. I just gonna keep doing it, and hopefully you can hear me. So so you can hear me well. Okay, it's something else. Can you check the volume, or maybe DC, can you check the volume, or maybe it's the muted from the app or something? Thank you so much for letting me know. So let's keep doing it. Everything we consume, lately has added sugar and it's a little bit too much for the body to cope with. It's adapting, but up to a point. After that, it cannot keep up with our way of eating. So everything we eat is transformed to glucose, and I'm going to explain you in a minute everything else. So I'm going to show you a graph like I said yesterday, and even the stress it's impacting this, emotional, every emotions and feelings, and all good, thank you. It's going to impacting the highs and down of your blood sugar. So just like eating too little fat will impact negative our hormonal production, because I know we are afraid about cholesterol, but it's not the fat itself that it's increasing our cholesterol level. It's actually the sugar and the highly processed foods like carbohydrates that it's increasing the cholesterol. If we eat too little foods, we don't bring enough nutrients, so then the body has no nutrients and it can't produce our hormones. And then with the level of stress we have, the body needs the same nutrients to produce cortisol, to produce adrenal, to produce estrogen, progesterone, and so on. It needs the same ingredients. But if we are stressed, the body wouldn't think about reproduction. It will think surviving. So it will produce more cortisol, and it will level up our blood sugar. So here we go into the imbalance. So too much water, too little water, too more water, it's not good either, because we washed up all the electrolytes, the minerals from the body. And be aware of the coffee. I know it's a lot of coffee pros and cons. A little coffee, it's okay, but if you are into the habit and having 4, 5, 6 coffees a day, or even more, that I know people drinking even more, you can't cut off this because you're gonna be sick. So it's just slowly cutting down. Just half a cup every week or so, not too much. So let's go into the next slide, because you're gonna understand well this. And I'm gonna put this, so you could see here, we wake up in the morning and we have a nice glycemia, let's say it's 5. It's good. We shouldn't be really hungry, in fairness, if it's 5. You should be hungry if it's about 4, where is the baseline. So we need to keep in the green area our blood sugar. This is the normal range. This is the normal range, the green one. However, we wake up and we eat, let's say we have the coffee in the morning with the sugar in, with milk in, maybe with a dash of, any flavoring like caramel, whatever you feel like having this, where you stop to the petrol station and you have your fancy coffee. It's adding sugar after a fasting night, because either you want or you don't want, you fast anyway. And breakfast, it's breaking the fast. So if you have the coffee in the morning with your croissant and with everything else, then it's gonna raise your blood sugar very quickly and very high. It's gonna go above the normal. This is the spike. And when it's too high, the role of the insulin, which is produced by the pancreas, insulin is the hormone, it's kind of the queen of the hormones. It's coming to take off the extra sugar from the glucose from the body. So it's like a machine taking, okay, where do I need to go with this? Where it's more like insulin, it's more like a key to the door. It takes the glucose and then it's opening the cells to let the glucose in. Well, if the cells needs it, they take it in. But so many times you don't need it that much, because as I show you here, it's quite high, so we don't need to be eating immediately, put it this way. But in very short time, 90 minutes, sometimes less, we have this crash of blood sugar, because the insulin is taking the extra glucose, and some of this it's going to the liver for a deposit in a quick emergency needs, and then it stores as fat, because the body has two stages: it's storing fat or it's burning fat, where it's in a balance. But that is when you sleep, when you in the zen, it's just like calm zen, it's nothing else. Even the mind, it's quiet, which is very hard, to be honest. So we have this crash, and then it's going back again high, because here we feel moody, sometimes it's shaking, sometimes we have headaches, feeling nausea. Everything could happen when we are hypoglycemic. So it's we look for anything that will lift up energy, mood, anything, the hunger, because now actually you might be hungry, like you feel the hunger in your stomach. And usually we don't go for any protein whatsoever. We go for quick fix, which is a bar, a croissant, a donut, a piece of bread, leftover pizza. That will be not so bad actually if it has any protein on. Something like that. That will again spike the glucose, again the insulin, it's released. But one of the things when we're doing this for a long time, so in short term, it's okay. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, a week, it's just messy. Life, it's going around, it's playing with us, and we have no time. Things happens, and you have to survive. But if you're doing this on a long term, with very small breaks in between, this is also a chronic stress for the body. We put the pressure on the pancreas, and we're becoming insulin resistant. And what happens in this case, it's like the cells needs the glucose, but doesn't recognize the insulin, which is the key. It's like a broken locker, yeah? It doesn't recognize. So the glucose can't go into the cells. And we just store more fat, because this is going into the store. Yeah, we just pile up this fat while the insulin is still high, because the body think like, oh my God, we still need this. It's too much blood in the sugar. So the pancreas, we still eat because we're hungry. Once the insulin is high, we are hungry all the time. We don't feel full. When we eat, we really feel we really need to reach that point in life. It's like physical pain. You need to unbutton the jeans. You need to unzip the skirt or something. That if nothing can get in anymore. So this is the insulin response and everything. So going like that, we're not doing anything good. What is happening in time, it's also going with the high blood pressure, and a couple of years later, or maybe more, if we're not doing it, if we do nothing, we end up in having type 2 diabetes. We all know at least one person, if not more, with type 2 diabetes around us. A friend, a neighbor, a colleague, family, one has at least type 2 diabetes. And if you ask them how it started, it's usually, with these symptoms, and then it's the high blood pressure, and a few years down the line, it's the type 2 diabetes. Fortunately, we can prevent this, and we also can reverse this. But we have to tackle a little bit, be a little bit strict. We don't like being strict. We don't like being said that we can't have this, we can't have that. We always think about what we cannot have instead of thinking about what we can. So every time you have to think in like, okay, is this serving me? Is this helping me? And I'm not saying like it's gonna happen over the night, but you have to be patient and you have to take it meal by meal. It won't gonna be overnight. It's not gonna happen in every meal, but every meal that you're doing and it's good for you, it's a win. Yeah, every small change, it's still a win. So I don't know, sometimes it's starting with the emotional eating, and sometimes we have these imbalances from a very young age, like with PCOS, with strong PMS, with something, and then we start into these carbs cycles, and which one was first. It doesn't matter at the end. What it matters is to go to the cause, to the root cause, and really help us to give the space and time to the body to heal. Does it make sense to you what I'm saying here? You could get very angry, not only moody, and you could really shout out. Usually you're not making any scene in the workplace. You come home and you do all the scenery because home it's okay to do. They love you, they accept you who you are and everything, and yeah, we can do it home, but we can't make any tantrum as an adult in the workplace. Yeah, so that's one of the things. And I'm a big fan of fasting, but it has to be done properly, otherwise it wouldn't help, and you will say like, oh, it's not helping me. So let's back to the nutrients and everything. I'm gonna take this off, the laser, and let's go back to this to identify the nutrients deficiency and imbalances, because it's important. I'm only gonna talk about several of these because there are more. Like the blood test, we need to test. So many times I'm saying like test, because testing, it's you will know exactly how much supplement you can use to cover. It's like, okay, I'm taking this loan from the bank. I have this interest to pay over the period of time. With the loan, I have to give this back every month, whatever it might be. Let's say 100 euros. Usually it's more for mortgage, but keep it low. I'm being happy here. But if you only pay 80 euros, you have these 20 euros that it's add up, and it's adding also the interest on this, and it's so see how it's going more in minus, and you have left over with loads to give up to catch up. So this is why it's important to know exactly. Sometimes it's not possible to test, either the doctors, the money, whatever it might be. So it's not, but it's here. It's urine. It's dry urine actually, and saliva test. I love Dutch test because it shows us as women and men too actually so much about it, about our hormones, where we are, what do we need to do, how to approach this on a very personalized level. So and we could do it by symptoms. So many times I have my questionnaire, I send the questionnaire, and by symptoms we could see what it's lacking, and then we start putting little by little and see how it's going in a month. We also keep in touch and we assess every month how is it going, how are the symptoms, what it's any improvements, how do you feel. It's so important. How do you feel? How do you sleep? What's your energy level? How many crashes of energy do you have? Do you still have these 2-3 a day, or maybe you only have one, or maybe you don't have any? So see, just listen to your body, because body, every pain, every single thing in your body, it's saying something. The body can't talk like we talk. with words, but it's giving us signs. And if we listen, we know what to do, or at least we look for the answers. So yet again, it's important to test, to know exactly. And the most common deficiency we talk here, and the symptoms about those vitamins and minerals, it's because those are also that are affecting us, the brain function. We keep forgetting about the brain, but I'm not forgetting about the brain. We need to feed the brain in order to work the body to really function properly. The mood, the energy, the everyday feeling, the way you wake up in the morning, it's either dragging yourself out of the bed or, oh my God, it's another day. Even if you don't like really the job, or you know it's gonna be very hard day, or very busy, whatever it might be, but you're not dragging really bad, and you don't need to put the snooze alarm 3-4 times just to be sure you wake up and you go to the job. So vitamin D, very common. Vitamin D, it's also a hormone. It's important to know the level, because I give you my example. I could give, and many of my clients being the same, like very, very low. I've been under the minimum level that it's required. And if I only took 2,000 units, international units, 2,000 units, that it's the general recommendation for general population, I wouldn't get my minimum level, probably never. I had to take 10,000 units for 3 months to barely touch the minimum. Well, in my age, I'm 49, perimenopausal, when we know that everything is declining, all the hormones declining, and my bones are in a high risk on getting the osteopenia and then osteoporosis and breaking easily. This is not a joke, and it's not a joke for you either, because I've seen women in 30 and 35 years old with very low vitamin D. So be aware. Also, it's giving you a low mood, like you are in the blue zone, along with others. So if we expose to the sun, that's good, but without the cream, and that has to be early in the morning or at the sunset. So the skin will produce the vitamin D and everything else. But if we go to work, stay inside, artificial light, not even exposed to UV, nothing happens, you go out only in the evening, you can't take the vitamin D from. And 2 weeks on a holiday, it's not enough. It's just something. What we can do, eat some fatty fish, salmon, mackerel if you like it. If not, take the supplements. Egg yolk, it's very good. I like quail eggs because the yolk of the quail eggs are higher in those nutrients, even if it's that small. Another common deficiency is B12, especially if you don't eat red meats. We can only take B12 from red meats or supplements. So pay attention to this. Vegan, vegetarian, consider the plant-based fortified foods, and take B12. You might eat red meat, but if you don't have the enzyme, the intrinsic factor to be able to process, to take the B12 to cells, you won't benefit. So you're gonna eat, but without the intrinsic factor, you're not gonna benefit. So you're still gonna be lacking this vitamin. Magnesium, it's very common. It's needed in over 350 reaction in the body, producing the enzymes, everything. With the level of stress we live, either internal, external, whatever you want it, or something, lack of sleep, and everything else, we need it. We really need it. We can't sleep without magnesium. We can't process the foods without magnesium because we have no enzymes, sufficient enzymes levels, and so on. Anxiety, depression, sleep disturbance. Very good sources are green leafy vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, whole grains, again, red meats. Yes, again, red meats. What you can do the bath with Epsom salt. Skin is very good in absorbing this mineral and take it in, and it helps a lot. Omega-3 fatty acids, the particular EPA and DHE, I'm not going into, but crucial for the brain, crucial for our hormones, really, really important. Again, mackerel, salmon, those type of foods, yeah? Flax seeds, chia seeds, if you like it, walnuts. Also the alga-based omega, but I'm a little reluctant about this. Again, when it's about the seafoods, although I like them, it's about the heavy metals. With the level of sea toxicity and the waters in the oceans, we're not so friendly environmental. We talk a lot, but you know what's happening with the Chernobyl, with Japan, nuclear reactors that it was in trouble. Yeah, so it's a lot in to take, and those algae stays at the bottom of the sea, like this, the same with the seafoods, so they clean up the sea. So that's one of the things with these things. Iron, again, red meat. We can have the iron from plants, from vegetables, or for cooking into the cast iron. However, the body will take the ham from red meat. Be careful there. Again, it's unfortunately I can't really recommend saying take this or take this, because we don't have this client relationship. But we're gonna do some, I was thinking, how can I approach this? We're gonna do a question and answer later on, maybe Thursday or over the weekend. We'll see how we accommodate, and we do mini sessions of this coaching and see how I work with. So we could go into particular cases there, knowing more about it. Iodine, it's important. Be aware if you have hyperthyroidism. Yeah, it's the overreacting thyroid. It's not good. But and then it also can go to the hypothyroidism, so deficiency. So if you lack iodine, you could go to the hypothyroidism. But sometimes the iodine can also give the overreactive thyroid. Not only the iodine, it's a lot of, but in this case iodine, be careful with. Again, it's the seafood and seaweed, and I told you about this. I'm not such a big fan. Casual, every 2 weeks or so, probably it's fine. And vitamin C, it's an antioxidant, supporting the brain health, it's supporting all the oxidative stress in the body. It's, if you exercise, if you smoke, vitamin C, it's very important for you also. Broccoli, bell peppers, leafy greens, red meat. Red meat is a very complex and brings everything else you could take from so many other plants. But if you don't like vegetables, or you only like fruits, and you are a picky eater, see, I don't know much about it, and I could say eat this, but if you don't like it, so it's not sustainable. I'm only giving the variety here and general advice, trying to pick the most common things. And all these vitamins and minerals, it's affecting the energy level and the hormonal level. It's impacting without a doubt all this. So B6, it's also, you could also have cramps, legs cramps or foot cramps. If you have this, it's magnesium, it's B vitamins, which are really, you have to take it in, especially the magnesium. So for B6, very good, it's meat organs. Not so many people are fans of this, but meat organs is very good. So you can have the chicken hearts, beef hearts, and hide it into the minced beef, hide it into a burger, homemade burger. So it's good to hide those things. So it's easy to take it if you don't like it, to eat these things. B9, knowing as a folate, we know about it. If you get pregnant, you have to take these. You have to take these actually before this. But anyway, it's the lack of this vitamin, it's the fatigue, low mood, low concentration. You can't focus. You keep forgetting things, and so on. Obviously, consult your healthcare. Come and talk to me with the specific problems. Calcium, essential. Not only for the bones, because bones is not only calcium, it's phosphorus and so other many minerals, yes, magnesium and so on. But it's, if we don't have calcium, and we need calcium, magnesium to work together. Otherwise, it's not working together. So, muscle weakness, cramps. We could take it from dairy, fermented dairy specifically, not just milk. Milk, pasteurized milk, it's dead. It's has nothing in. So, but fermented dairy products, it brings loads of prebiotics, the probiotics, and also the B vitamins. Pretty much this with this, but if you have your blood tests and you know the numbers, we could talk about it. I guide myself by the functional medicine, not necessarily by general medical advice, because in functional medicine they are more specific with this, while the medicine it's very general, like our number is growing and growing and they have to include as many as possible into this range. So it's important to be more specific and see how you feel. Again, how you feel, how is impacting you, what's your energy level, how you wake up, how tired you are. You might be tired in the morning, so that's another problem. It might be the cortisol problem, the adrenal fatigue, and so on. So, strategies to nourish the body. What do we need to eat? So we keep the blood sugar balance, we balance our hormones, we keep the brain sharp, we stay away as much as possible by dementia and Alzheimer, which is increasing like crazy, and we keep living our lives and not being always, anxious and in the meh. Oh, how are you? I'm okay. Really? Can we feel better? Yes, we can. So, every time you pick up your meal, either it's a ready meal, you want to cook your own meal the most possible. But if it's a ready meal, look to the ingredients, see how much sugar it's added, see how much wheat or starch it's added in, because this is just to bulk up the meal, increasing the calories, but has no nutrients. So you don't want really to have a big meal with less nutrients. You have a small to moderate meal, but really high in nutrients. And to calculate these nutrients, like the protein level, depending on the level of exercise or something, or how much exercise, how active is your job, how static is your job, how many, if you want to lose weight, how many pounds or kilos you want to lose, whatever you are and you like to talk about it. So it's about 0.8 grams, so 0.8 grams to 1 gram per kilogram body. Yeah, so let's say I have 60 kilos, I have 166 centimeters, 166 centimeters. So I'm okay with my weight, but I want to maintain, and I want to grow up my muscle mass, because I have the tendency on losing it also by genetics. So I test, and what do? So then I'm aiming every day to have these 60 grams of meat, either from meats, from eggs, the protein actually, from meats, from eggs, a little bit of dairy. I don't eat too much grains. I'm on a gluten-free because of my autoimmune disease, so I love wheat, but wheat doesn't love me so much, so it's creating these problems. And it's create problems in any autoimmune disease, so off you go. It's how to calculate. On average, 100 grams of any meat will give you about 25 grams of protein. So just calculate how much is it. I think an egg, it's about 7 grams of protein, if I remember well. I get lost sometimes with these numbers because there's so many, but I know for sure with the protein, like, it's about 25, so roughly there. So it's easy to kind of know. Then staying hydrated, it's very important. As I mentioned before, how you're doing it, not necessarily counting the glasses, but looking into your pee. Yeah. Also, try and staying away, or yes, for these energizing drinks, fizzy drinks. With every fizzy drinks, I'm not gonna give you any names because of the brands. I'm not promoting anything or shaming anything, but with every single glass of fizzy drinks, you also pee loads of calcium and magnesium. It's literally leaching the minerals out of the body. So leave it for special occasions, make it special drinks or something, but not on a daily routine. It's important to have the electrolytes in your body, but you could take it from leafy greens, a little bit of salt on a tongue in the morning, sea salt, Celtic salt, Himalayan, but sea salt, it's very good. Celtic salt also, I think it's a little bit high and pushing into this marketing with the sea salt, but it says like has 94 traces of minerals. Also the cave salt is very good, so that one that it's extracted from a very deep underground. Pretty much. Healthy fats, please don't be afraid of fats. So much shaming the fats. Butter, it's not good. Animal fats is not good. Nothing is good, but vegetable oil, it's good. Vegetable oil, it's very pro-inflammatory. So I would cook with olive oil, coconut oil if you like coconut oil. Very rarely with organic sunflower, just if it's something that it's changing the taste too much. But yeah, canola oil and all these, no. You could use raw, if you don't cook in salads, in doing this hummus or something, if you like, with sesame seeds oil, walnut oil on a salad. Use all these kind of seeds oils, but cold, don't heat it up. They're very good. Olive oil, actually, a spoon a day will do wonderful for your body, for your skin. You cannot imagine. So, and limit the process. Don't be, I said at the beginning, don't be afraid of fats. Don't. I don't encourage you to eat with a spoon these butters or lard or something, but it's just being aware. And if you have to lose weight, then don't increase the fats. Keto, so many people was asking me about keto. Keto is very high in fats, moderate protein, and very low in carbs, about 5% only carbs. But if you want to lose fats, you also want to let the body to burn these fats. So let the body to dine in. I call it dine in. Let them to dine in. Limit the sugar and processed foods. And if you really want that dessert, if you really want that chocolate, have it, but after the meal. And why after the meal? So then you have to eat a little bit less to leave room for these desserts. But it's also because you have this meal, which is, well, pretty much balanced. Yes, you have the protein, you have a little fat, you have the carbs, and everything else there. It will slow down the digestion of these sugary foods, whatever they might be. It will slow down digestive. Even the fruits on its own, if you eat it in the morning, I'm not recommending. Fruits are very high in fructose, and fructose, it's actually raising your blood sugar higher than a teaspoon of sugar. And sometimes, and not sometimes, all the time, you know that loaf, the bread loaf that it's sliced and it's really nice and soft, and you toast it and everything, the crust is soft and everything, and you could play like an accordion with, and it's coming back together. It's like a sponge. One slice of this bread, it will raise your blood sugar faster than a teaspoon of sugar. So this is the level of the glycemic level of this food. We had no time to talk about the glycemic index, load glycemic index. So it's an hour and a half at least to talk about those things. But choose lean protein with a little fat around. Cook it. If you don't like the fat, just add a little olive oil on top. Add some vitamin C or lemon juice to absorb the iron. It will increase the absorption of iron. And stay away of coffee and tea, black tea especially, immediately after the meal, because it impairs the absorption of nutrients. Prebiotics, probiotics foods, these fermented foods are amazing for rebalancing the gut flora, which is considered an organ in itself. We need these bacteria to be there. Kefir, it's very good if you're not lactose or dairy intolerant in any cases. Yeah. So again, small steps. Don't feel overwhelmed, and don't feel like you have to do all the changes that we talked yesterday, all the changes that we talk today, and doing it all, because it's not possible and you won't do anything eventually. Just one thing. If you can increase the protein and start your day with the protein, eat like a king in the morning, then eat a little bit less on a lunch, and for dinner even less. So, and you won't be hungry if you put the protein with the meals. Pick your snacks, choose your snack wisely, be prepared, plan your meals, ask the people around if they want to embark on this journey with you. If they don't want, that's fine. Each and one of us has a choice, so don't feel upset, don't be sad, don't feel like they don't want to support. They're not ready for this change. Let them be. But if they see the changes with you, they will come along. And so many partners and husbands of my clients, they start later after my women clients, and they have even faster results because men are doing even better with these changes. So it's one of the things. I want to say something about the magnesium. I just remember something. So magnesium are in many different forms, and when it's about targeting supplements and everything, if you want to increase your energy level, then taurine and malate is good. If you want to sleep better, then glycine magnesium is good. If you're constipated, citrate magnesium is good. So that means targeting. I've seen results of this. if your stool is very hard and you need to soften the stool, then vitamin C citrate, it's very good. So I've seen these results, and I have these results with my clients, and the literature saying this. Yeah, so we kind of need to play around. Like omega-3, very good for skin, for brain, feeding and everything. And then what else is the omega-7? It's for dryness. Either if it's, especially if it's perimenopausal or menopausal, and you dry vagina and it's painful and it's uncomfortable, yeah, vitamin omega-7, it's very good. It's a very good brand here. It's Pharma North, it's called. And I have very good results with my clients with this one. So it's something that kind of I wanted to say here. I find a way in saying, like, I have good results with my clients. So here you go with this. Yesterday we talked about mindfulness and exercise, how it's boosting our energy. But today we also talk about this in boosting how it's helping us with the stress management, yeah. And today we talk about how it's boosting the energy, different exercises for different things, and so on. I want to be very, very clear on here with something. Please assess your level of fitness. Don't look at someone else beside you that is doing this for how many days or months or something and think you can do it. Even if you sign up for a class, a Zumba class, let's say, and you see them, they do the steps, they know the dance, and they turn, they twirl, they whatever. When I go to this, and it's the first time after a very long time, and I don't know the instructor, and I don't know, I'm just gonna go and say, look, I just get it slowly here. I can't turn around so much because I'm getting dizzy. Talk with them, see how you feel. Don't just push. Sometimes it's good to push to go out of the comfort zone, but just be mindful. Especially with the, oops, I go too far. Especially with the weights exercise and with the high intensity interval training, which is extremely good. You can incorporate it 1 minute now, 1 minute later, and then increase it to 3 minutes and so on. So I think I got one too far away. Yes. Take it slowly. Go with yoga. I like Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube. She is amazing. She has from the beginning for the beginners, has challenges. I'm in the 30-day challenge of this. So you could do on your own everything. It's just one question about is bisglycinate the same as glycinate? When I'm trying to find this type of magnesium, it is the bisglycinate that normally comes up, and I wasn't sure if it, I think it's the same. Lisa, I need to look up, because as far as I know, on my magnesium it say glycinate, but might be bisglycinate because they reformulated now, and might be this one. I'll double check, and there are loads of questions actually also from yesterday, and I might do a couple of emails that I answer all these questions. Would you remind me, send me an email or a message, or pop up this question into the group, and I'll answer to this one. But I need to double check. I'm not quite sure. I need to look on the formula of this. And thank you for asking. So as I said, start slowly. Pilates. Don't push it. You know, it's better to take it slow and being consistent and enjoying than to get tired immediately, get injured, and then you stop. And then you need a time to recover, and then you might get afraid to go with this, and so on. the anxiety can come up with this if the pains are very high. So it is good, but you have to really assess your level. So weight exercise is very good because it's building the muscles, it's building the joints, the strengthen this and everything. So it is good to have those things. Study have shown that the high intensity interval training can increase the level of growth hormone and testosterone. And we need the growth hormone for brain, for memory, for everything, for developing. It's improving energy, it's reducing fat accumulation, so it helps the body in going into the burning fat. Because what's happening, it's like sprinting. You sprint, and when you start running and you start sprinting, you have the glycogen level into the muscles for only 8 seconds. So it's gonna burn, and then the body start taking the energy from different tissues just to keep you running. Yeah, so it's increasing the metabolism. So it's good to sprint, walk, sprint, walk, sprint, walk, just like that, you know. And you don't need to do half an hour, you need to do 10 minutes, or you could even start with 5 minutes every second day. And then you go 5 minutes every day, or maybe another week for every second day. And then you increase to 7 minutes or 10 minutes. Depends on your level. But don't think you're going to run the marathon just overnight, because it's not possible. Or if it's possible, it definitely will be really painful. So back to the high intensity level. As I said, might not be suitable for everyone. Check with a professional, with certified fitness, something. Go and have few sessions with a trainer. See how you're doing. I've seen so many clients, they join the gym and they go and using all the machines, but they don't use it properly and they injure themselves. But you ask them, they give you the round, they show you how to use the machines, and you not necessarily need to pay extra for this. It's actually the safety of the gym to give you these briefs and to inform you how to use the machines properly. They're there to help you. So ask. Don't be afraid, and don't feel like, oh, I'm ashamed to ask. Why? This is why they're there. They don't know what you know. So this is why you don't know what they know. So, see, this is why we're so different and we have different jobs. Weight exercise, really good for resistance, for blood sugar level, for hormonal, and it's probably one of my favorite, because you could start with your own weight without using any weights, and then slowly take half a kilo, a bottle of half a liter in one hand and another one in the other hand, and you're just working up. You're just doing simple movements, and that's it. It's all you need. You don't need much. You need to take it slowly and start with your own body first. You could do these exercises while you're watching your favorite movies, serials, whatever you want to watch, show on TV. You could do this. It's so easy. Just be careful and keep up your position, your core, you strengthen your back. Yeah, they really good. And it's also increasing the muscle mass, and you won't get that fitness level like the culturism or something. So don't be afraid. Unless you really want to go for this, you're not getting. For this, you need hours and hours in the gym and loads of proteins, and it's a different work. Magnesium citrate from Solgar, it's very good. Yes, it's really good. Back to the weight. It's good also because it's building the muscle mass, and if we lose the muscle mass, we get weak, and if we get weak, we get sick. So that's the thing. And I'm gonna show you here the benefits. So of these exercises, it's improving insulin sensitivity. I've talked about the insulin resistance. It's insulin sensitivity first, then it's insulin resistance, and then it's the type 2 diabetes. That's the word there. We don't want to get there, where we want to reverse if we're there, so we need to improve this. It's also glucose utilization. Another trick is it, like, if it's possible, at least after the dinner time, an hour, about an hour and a half after the dinner, to go for a walk or dance or something. Why about an hour and a half? Because this is the time, depending what you at the dinner, for the body to release the glucose into the bloodstream, from the stomach, digestive, absorption, and then it's the glucose into the bloodstream. And if it's in the bloodstream, then the pancreas will release the insulin to regulate the blood sugar. It's either to lowering down if it's too high, especially if we have a high carb meal. So if you walk, dance, do some squats, whatever you find fancy to do, you can laugh doing those things. So don't take it as a chore or something really hard. Make it fun. If you're doing this, you literally use the glucose from the bloodstream. You use what you have as a deposit, and then you use the one it's already there for you to use in the bloodstream. So you no longer store this one. That makes sense to you? High intensity interval training, it's enhancing fat burning because it's alternating this. It's also helping after the exercise. You're doing this weight training with your body or with the weights. In time you increase the weights, the heaviness of these weights and something. Even if you're not working out, you still burning after that. So I forgot the cat. It's here and I didn't know what is touching me. So yes, this is in terms of hormonal balance. It's amazing because it's increasing the growth hormone. It's helping the estrogen regulations, which is another key hormone, because if the estrogen is too high, then it's also in a balance, and we're going to talk tomorrow about this. It's estrogen. We talk about estrogen comparing with the progesterone. So dominant estrogen, we get sick, we get hungry, we get all these what it's called, the breast tenders, the moods. It's not good. Irregular cycles and so on. Heavy menstrual. We talk about this tomorrow, but this is going to happen. So it's regulating the cortisol because it's releasing the endorphins, and if it's releasing the endorphins, then here we go. We have less cortisol, we less stressed, and we enjoy more the life. In terms of energy levels, it's increasing metabolic rate. It's helping the mitochondria. I said yesterday the mitochondria is a little house power of the energy in every cell. So we need this to work properly in order to have this energy level, in order to have these hormonals well balanced, to be well mentally focused, no brain fog, no memory loss, short memory, like I open something, I go to the fridge, what do I want from this? I go to this room, what do I want for this? And people think this happens only in women in menopause, but actually I have young women. I work with men too, but mainly women in 20s, early 20s, that they have this short memory loss, like they can't function well, they forget things, and then they need reminders for everything in terms to kind of function well. Muscle strength, improve cardiovascular fitness. Cardiovascular disease is the first in mortality. It's the first cause of mortality in women too. So it used to be in men first, but we kind of, as women, we catch up the train, and in not a good way. by the way. What we learned today was a lot. I keep in touch in about an hour, as I said. Yet again, it's a lot. We need good nutrition. We need good foods. We need real foods. Fried foods, not so much. Try the air fryer, stir fryer, because it's short. Cooking, it's very important. How we cook this, how we destroy nutrients or we keep nutrients into the foods. Like if we boil the carrots, let's say, we just peel the carrots and boil like that, we maintain more nutrients into the carrots than if we chop it like for minestrone, let's say. Yeah, because we increase the surface and losing it. I hope it makes sense to you. All these, as I said about the targeting supplements, I'm gonna do a question and answer, like a mini session of coaching, and we could talk a little bit different on that level, because it's so much with everyone else and everyone has specific needs, and it's this way in kind of approaching this subject. How to practice this, take it slowly. I know it's a lot. I know the feeling of overwhelm, but just think in terms of the overwhelm. Like, I'm only taking what I need to, and the rest I leave on the table. I can always come back to this and pick another one once I kind of nail one. And if you do one until you kind of are missing, if you're not doing it, then it's the time you can add another one. It's this ripple effect, It's kind of without even thinking, the unconscious mind and everything, it's kind of I need to add something else. This makes me feel good. And journaling, it's a good thing to start. You might hate it. I used to hate journaling, but it's really so good because it's helping you, especially in the nighttime, and if you can't sleep and the train of thoughts is coming to you. It's so good because it's helping you literally to empty these thoughts, these negative thoughts, and we're gonna talk about this tomorrow also. Just to let go. It's not gonna happen after the first night. It's not gonna happen after the 10th night, but it's gonna happen eventually if you are just consistent. Do you have any questions for me? Just want to thank you so much for being here tonight. Really, really thank you so much for being here tonight. And today's quote, it's the higher your energy level, the more efficient your body. The more efficient your body, the better you feel, and the more you will use your talent to produce outstanding results. So, yet again, how do you feel? Because how do you do? I'm fine. How do you feel? How do you feel? It's really, really important. Do you have any questions for me? I'm here to answer the questions, if any. Just gonna look into the chat, and I'm gonna change to the camera. So, do you have any questions? Let's chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here, and yet again another night in being here, and give yourself permission to be here for yourself first, and for me, but especially for you. Especially for you. Just watching. The 29th session is available. Yes, I sent an email. I sent an email with the recording, and you can see, check the email, or if you are in the Facebook group, it's also into the group. My little cat. It's also the recording there. It's gonna be available for a week after tomorrow. So still plenty time to take notes, to come back a few times into, and if you have any questions, email me. As I said, I already got a lot of questions, and I'm gonna do a couple of emails and answering really properly, or I might do a few lives in answering this. I don't know yet, but I really need to sit down because some of the questions are quite similar, if not the same. So I just want to group them and answer to them, so it makes sense to everybody, and whatever who asked the question, so then they got the answer they are looking for. It's just something like that. So do you have more questions, or we just I will try to understand. Just 1 second. I lost the chart. I will try to understand what I am doing wrong, as my energy level goes really low, and sometimes I cannot concentrate or even stand up. Look into what you're eating, the patterns of your eatings. What time do you eat? What do you eat? How much do you drink? Any drinks. Put down everything. Heat, yeah. And if heat it's really affecting you, then you have to hydrate, and you have to cool down. So maybe have loose, only cotton, only really natural clothing, textile on you, because otherwise it will take I don't know, I'm just losing the chart here, so I don't want to lose the chart. Yeah, I'm still here. Okay, that's good. Yeah, this is what I could see someone, it's still typing, so I'm gonna wait another minute to answer this. Just gonna have a sip of water. If there are no more questions, we're gonna close the session today. And I cannot function with heat, no fresh air. So heat is affecting you, and you can't function with the heat and no fresh air. Keep the windows open. It might be the hot flashes, or it's all the time. See, it's kind of a hard. But if you send me an email and talk a little bit about it, I'll answer to you. Yes, and headaches. Yeah, that might be the menopause, something there. We're gonna talk about this tomorrow, and maybe tomorrow will make more sense why you're feeling this way, and something there will resonate with you then, and it's gonna help you to kind of to start managing. It's just a period of time, it's a transition. These headaches, no windows, it's only air conditioner. You might get a little ventilator, face one, just small, and put it on the desk and use it to help you. For the headaches, I find very helpful magnesium. Very, very good. So maybe a mix of magnesium will do better for, but it's something to look into. it's something to look into this. Thank you so much again for being here. Looking forward for tomorrow. Tomorrow it's about hormones, it's about confidence, how we build this confidence, how we get back into our confidence, how we kind of find a way to navigate these times we get through, because every single one, as long as we live longer, we're gonna have this transition as a woman. And learning how to nourish the body, how to transition well into this, to navigate this time properly, it's a day for tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, it's one of the problems, oxygen missing. Yes, it's just this air ventilation. And sometimes what you have to do, and one of my clients are doing in their jobs, is to kind of fill up a form for the building, whatever it's the management there, because they actually, by the regulation and the health and safety, they have to clear up the filters, but they kind of push a little bit too much in time, So sometimes it's is this. Take a walk to the lunch, try find your way out, even if it's for 5 minutes. So many people, because they smoke, they have these small breaks, just for a coffee and a smoke, a cigarette. So you can do this with just a glass of water, and if you take this break, I take this one for me, just a little something, because if you really need this, then you need to kind of try, and it's a little nudges. It's just, you go out 3 minutes, take deep breaths, take the air in, move the arms, move the shoulders, move your neck, the head around, go inside for another hour or two, and then try your way out for another 5 minutes or so. You're entitled of this, for sure. We'll talk tomorrow. Thank you again for being. I am, but my energy level is going probably very low. We are busy, but if you don't, sometimes in this busyness, we're losing time because we can't concentrate. If you take 5 minutes to go, it takes, I don't know how long to go out and how long to come back, but to take 3-5 minutes outside, just to take the fresh air, just to give a hug to a tree if it's any around, and to go back, these little things will help you actually increase your productivity, so you're actually gonna get the job done faster. Unless it's a session, it's just meetings back to back, but you have to work. Like I'm doing work wellness, loads of the work wellness talks, going to the companies, projects, and so on. And actually, the management, the ones that they run the businesses, recognize those things. People need these breaks in order to have higher productivity, because just sitting on a desk and being busy, it's not being productive. It's presenteeism, but it's not being productive. Put a reminder on a phone, beep beep beep, you have to stand up. You don't need to start smoking, but you need to take the break with them. See how many breaks they take, and you take it too. That's it. I've done this actually before, and I'm gonna tell you the story on another time. I won't keep you, but I've done this before. I don't smoke, but I take the break as you take. Why not? I'm entitled if you are entitled. That was my answer, and nobody said anything. So, it worked. Yes. Thanks again. I'll see you tomorrow, 7:30 again. And in the meantime, I'll think about it. How can we do these mini coaching sessions and everything else in the between? Alarm. Yes, alarm. Very good. Thanks again. See you tomorrow. Bye for now. Have a lovely evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. We have from Australia registers here. We have from America registered here. Turkey, all over the Europe also. So Canada. Time is different. I know. Next time we're gonna pick different time zones for you also. So different times. So it's gonna be different for you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Just gonna stop recording.